This video is dedicated to my fellow young people, the people like me, by the way I'm age 20, who look around at the world and see the jobs market isn't what it used to be, we can't get well paid jobs, we look around and we see that food prices are extremely high, rent prices are extremely high, housing prices are extremely high, again salaries are quite low, inflation is up. This is a very interesting time, and if you ask me, it's a time of transition. The thing is though, most people don't acknowledge this, and will not acknowledge this, and can't acknowledge this until they understand what they're looking at. And quite frankly, just because things are bad doesn't mean that we have no opportunities. You know, I make the point all the time, this could be a great and prosperous time for us, but a lot of our generation, and probably the ones going forwards and the ones just before as well, are going to be poor forever until they understand a few simple facts. In this video I want to share what I think they are and what I've learned. For those of you who do not know, my channel is all about making money and finance and stuff like that. In the last year or so my income has actually increased and I'm making more than I ever have. I want to share a lot of that with you on this channel, but also what I've learned in the process in this video. So if you enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe, it helps a lot. So let's jump straight into this topic. As I said initially, we are in a market now where jobs don't pay what they should, they don't pay what they used to, and if we're looking to have a prosperous future like what our parents or especially our grandparents had, it's not going to be possible in a 9-to-5 job, not most of them. I've made the point myself, and to kind of go on that a bit further, when you're getting paid £9-10 an hour and your cost of rent is maybe £300-500, it's not feasible to have a nice life, have a car, have 2 kids and a holiday every year. We can't do that in this current market. But that doesn't mean that there's no opportunities for us to be able to do that. Now, I think any of us of any age, whether you're 10 or 70 or 80, will be able to acknowledge one thing. There has been a lot of transition since, let's say, the 1950s, because I think that's a fair time period, right? Since the 1950s, we've had the mass adoption of the car, we've had the mass adoption of the TV, we've had the invention and mass adoption of the internet, the invention of the mobile phone. All of these different things which didn't exist even 30 or 40 years ago, some of them. So if what we're looking at now, and especially AI as well, I must add, if what we're looking at now isn't what we were looking at in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, why do we still work in that way? I think this is where the problem lies, because, come to think of it, if the jobs market has changed, if the economy has changed, which it has, I think everybody will admit that and be able to acknowledge that. If the economy continues to change, as it does, we must change the way that we work with it. For those who want to know what my business models are, as I did briefly mention at the start of the video, I sell stuff online, I rarely but sometimes trade stocks to make a bit of extra money, and I make videos like this one. This is not hard, this is something that anyone can do, but this is different. You see, people like myself have always wanted to make a lot of money. People might say that's right or wrong, that's a different topic, but I always have. I've always wanted to have really nice cars, a nice place to live, the ability to travel the world. From a young age, maybe about 14, I realised that in the next 2 years I could have a job, at age 16, I'd be getting paid £3 or £4 an hour at that age, in the UK. That's no good. So I decided we need to do something different, and this is what a lot of people haven't coined onto right now. We should not be aiming for our end goal to be working in a 9-to-5, because it doesn't profit us like it once did. If people made maybe double or triple what they make now, they would see the benefits of still doing it. But when the minimum starting salaries are like £20,000 to £30,000, I personally don't see a point, and I don't think it's worth it for most people. So how do we go about this? Well, again, the first step is to acknowledge that the market is broken, and fundamentally the market is different. A failure to acknowledge this is going to be a problem for all of us, because quite frankly, if you can't acknowledge this, you're going to be working for something that just doesn't work in the modern day. There's no point in doing that. But once we acknowledge that the market is different, how do we take this to our advantage? And I think this is where a lot of people of our generation go completely wrong, because I hear it all the time about how we're so disadvantaged and we don't have the opportunities, and in the real world, per se, for a lot of jobs, that's 100% true. You are not going to be getting that £70,000-80,000 job now just because you graduated university with a 2-1 or a first. It's just not going to happen. What we do have though is we have kids, people like myself even, And people younger than me and people less experienced than me with less good technology than me who make 5, 10, 15, 20,000 pounds online. And not everyone has to do it the way that I do, reselling stuff. You can pick whatever subcategory you want, but I think moving into an online market is the way to do things. That doesn't even necessarily mean, by the way, starting your own business. You know, it could be something as simple as you work an online job which pays a lot better, or you work an online job and double on another online job at the same time. That way you're getting paid 2 salaries for work that you can reasonably do. The economy where you can work one job 9 to 5 for a lot of people doesn't exist. You'll be waiting until you're 30, 40, 50, 60 to be getting those salaries because of your experience and your knowledge and etc. That's too long to wait for most people. I don't want to have kids when I'm 60. I don't want to have kids that late. I don't want to have a nice car finally when I'm that old. I don't want to have a nice house when I'm 60. I want to have that when I'm maybe 30, 40 at latest. So the point is, if we do not acknowledge this difference, we're going to be poor forever, because the market's just getting squeezed further and further. Companies are making record profits, individuals are taking home record low pay. It's not the same market it was. But for those who have realised that, let's just use a stock trading example. I'm not saying that everyone can do it, and it's not something that I really advocate. I actually say on the channel that I'm not a big fan of stock trading, but let's give that example. If some kid can make 10 grand in a minute stock trading versus someone working in an office who's got a degree and blah blah blah, they need to wait 3 to 4 months to make that much money. Something's really quite wrong there. But it's not necessarily wrong, it's just different. And this is today's market. Whether it be internet work, self-employed work, running your own business in real life or something like that, it's now a skill-based market. And it's now an early mover's advantage market. And in some markets you may say, well, the early advantage is gone. I'd agree with that, but it doesn't mean that you can't get in. You know, reselling, people have been doing it for years. But it creates more value for you as a person. You can build a personal brand. You could even build something else like here on YouTube or something like that. This is much more valuable to you nowadays, in my opinion, and I am not any kind of advisor, it's just my opinion. But to me, it's more valuable now to have a personal brand, a business skill set that's actually feasible and usable in the real world, than it might have been 20, 30 years ago to have a degree. Because with the economy the way it is, a lot of companies are cutting back on employees. We've been having this discussion in my friendship group. You're going to find difficulty now getting a job in a few fields because management's being cut back. You know, HR's being cut back. And this is the case with many, many companies. And my friends who are looking into the job market, they're seeing this and they're feeling this hard. And it's just going to get worse, in my opinion. Maybe there'll be some reforms and some improvements, but for the most part, it's not looking good. The way that we go about this is not complaining about it and asking for, you know, some sort of a deal from companies. That's fine if they want to pay low, but we need to acknowledge that the reason why things are the way they are is because in the 1970s, let's say, where you might have needed 10 workers to run an accounting department, now all you need is one administrator and an AI robot. It's like, that's fine, but it means that the market's shifted. I'd be looking to get myself a skill set that I can leverage for myself to build myself a brand, a skill level that I can basically make money off, and hopefully, or in my experience at least, this is the new way. It's not wrong, it's different. But I feel like if people don't acknowledge this, their income's going to stay flat. They're not going to be getting raises as they haven't done for the last 20, 30 years. The jobs market, because of AI and etc., is going to keep decreasing, and quite frankly, the opportunities aren't going to be there like they once were. That's just my opinion, but that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And this is kind of a follow-up to the video where I said why young people don't want to work. We all understand why it is, but how do we solve it? And it's not even necessarily to get people back into work. Because companies are going to be cutting back, why don't we work in different ways? You know, slaving in an office for 30, 40, 50, 60 hours a week, that can be something of the past. We don't have to still be doing this. Most people don't still have to be doing this. For some people it still makes sense. For some people it's still worth it, whether that be financially or for their morale or their social status or whatever. But if you're just out here to get by, and if you're out here to essentially live more than you work, I think that's the way to do it, as I just outlined in this video. So thank you for watching this one. Again, I hope you got some value out of it. If you did, of course, like, subscribe and share, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.